Hello, everybody, and welcome to Q Gets Into BUJOing. You're about to watch a lovely half-hour video of me trying to make a BUJO with zero artistic talent or any inclination of how to do this properly. So we are currently working on my overall tracker. So we're making our first page. I did make a pocket. I've been watching a lot of Joshi Koren and figuring out what I wanted to make this tracker and how I wanted it to look. I am not an artist. I cannot draw to save my life. I can barely write clearly, that at least pretty. I guess I write clear, but pretty. So even me writing tracker with the Q, because, I'm Q, I think looks awful and, misshapen and badly spaced and looks like the same as when I wrote in elementary school. So, but Lena gave me the tip of the shadow effect. I don't know if I did that correctly at all, but hopefully it looks good. And then I bought a bunch of PET stickers, which are just clear stickers. I highly recommend, if you're going to use stickers, use PET stickers. I have some other ones that you'll find in this video that are not, and I hate how they look. Now, I use these stickers a lot. They were a nightmare to peel. And you can see I have that little tool in my hand. I'm going to give up on that tool real fast. I find that I'm just not that type of mobility person who can use those. But I do have those tiny little scissors, and they work mostly well. I think they're pretty good for cutting up the PET stickers. But yeah. Okay, moving on to the next spread. This is going to be the year in a glance, which I downloaded the little calendars from Joshi Koren's digital library. I do wish that library had a bit more of what I saw on her channel, so I was a little disappointed that some things weren't included, but I'm not a huge fan of how these little calendar guides are actually set up, and I don't really anticipate using this page all that often, just because of how I am. But like some of them, if you have a very long month, the end of the month ended up at like the top of the page to clear it out so that they're all the same size, which is like, yes, good, they're all the same size, but also, ooh, that irks my brain. And then I ended up putting some little Post-its that I got from Kawaii Pen Shop, because I thought, okay, Post-its are a good idea to put in there. I can write down quick things and then replace them as I need. Honestly, I don't know how much I'm going to use that. And then I used PET tape for the top as the theme, but I kept ripping it wrong and having to settle it. Now, I did buy sticker paper and printed a bunch of stuff off of it. I do like my sticker paper. I think it looks pretty decent. I wish I could print on like clear though, because I really don't like a white background on stuff. This spread right now is my in case of emergency spread. So I have a place I can list, my nearest, local police, the fire, vet, and things like that. My emergency contacts, if, I'm bleeding out on the side of the street and somebody finds me and I go, look in this journal, it'll tell you. I also have a go bag essentials. So just ideas of things that if I'm in a situation of emergency where I need to pack things very quickly, these are the things that I need to pack. So that's that list. And again, we're using a collection of PET stickers and just doing that a lot and creating my own banner. I tried to do this alternating pattern of one spread with the PET tape and then another spread with the flower stickers. That was the vibe. I don't know why it was the vibe. I have no proper theme to what I'm doing ever. I just kind of do things and hope it works out. And most of the time it's okay. It's not bad, but it's okay. Next up is my 25 goals of 2025. I kind of really like this idea where I created little, symbols for each goal and cut them into a little circle, and we spread them out like that. And then I'm going to eventually draw another circle around them so that when I complete it, I can color in the circle around, and it'll be like a little marker to be like, look what I achieved. So it'll be easier to see like my progress. And some of them I'll be able to do actual progress bar circle on it, where it's like I have like 25 bookmarks. I can easily mark out 25 rings, or paint my numbers. I have 6 of them in total, and I've already done one a year ago, but it still counts because it's part of the pack. But some things are easier to track than others. Some are bigger concepts. Now in this spread though, you can see I've used most of the page, so it took me a bit to figure out how I want to do the labeling of the 25 of 2025. And I ended up, after finishing all these little circle guys, doing a 2025 just there in the same style as the front, because I cannot draw. So all my blocky letters, they look the same because that's the only way I can make blocky letters. And then I decided to write the actual goal on top, just in case I forget what the emoji means. Emoji, symbol, icon, the icon. So I kind of alternated the purple and turquoise colors. I don't know what it is about me and purple and turquoise. It's the thing. It's, it's Create-a-thon. It's a color concept that I've always liked. All right. We are on to a Then and Again. So I still don't totally understand the function of Then and Again from Jesse Corin, but the way Joshi Corin, I'm doing it as like, here's my starting part in the beginning of the year of anything that I want to see where I end up at the end of the year. So for me, this is going to be things like my book sales. It's going to be my subscribers. It's going to be my debts and things and how I can improve. So there's not a ton of them, but I did like individually write out stuff on it eventually. Okay. Another spread. What was I doing? Oh yeah, 52 things to do this year. It's fun watching this while I'm recording this, by the way. That's how we record these little guys. But 52 things to do in the year. This is a concept, again, I took from Joshi Corin. She originally had it as 101 and then recently changed it to 52, which I think is more manageable. I still have open spaces on this. So it's mostly like one-off goals, but not vague, abstract goals. It's been a struggle communicating what this is. So they're somewhat specific, but not necessarily uber specific. I don't know how that makes sense at all. But it's, I want to do this specific thing, or go to like a botanical garden would be one of these. It's not super specific, but it's specific enough that I have to figure it out. It does not necessarily a go. It can be something I need to do. It can be a little, not mini goal. It's not like I want to work out this much or whatever. It's not one of those. They're more specific, but not as specific as we're thinking. They don't have to be go to this specific botanical garden, just a botanical garden. Does that make sense? So if you have suggestions for those kinds of things, let me know. And that'd be dope. Cool. And so I'm making little check boxes so I can check them off when they come around. All these materials, like, I got these off of Kawaii Pen Shop. I buy them once a year. They have a Black Friday sale, and I buy once a year. And I don't remember what made me want to do this way. So this is going to be my 25 things to do in 2025, or 25 25s to do in 2025. So these are repetitive goals. So I have, certain goals that I want to do over and over again, kind of almost create the habit. For example, I want to read 25 nonfiction books. So I can fill that in as a little tracker bar as we go. I think maybe that's why, because I needed something I could make 25 spaces across, and the vertical length of this. Don't you dare start barking, sir. Someone's outside the door. Love this. I'm not editing this at all. You guys are getting the live. This is how the sound is in my apartment at 8:15 at night. With a dog who's trying to, go back to sleep. Okay, anyway, so 25 25s of 2025. So I did this side style panel, which I actually really like. I wish I had made my text, my font bigger for this, because I do think it gets a little lost once I finish putting down all the PET stickers. But it's fine. But yeah, if you have more ideas, because again, I didn't fully fill this out. It's something I can consistently add to later, but I have some, basic things I'd like to repeat, making new recipes and things. I'm open to ideas. Please give me ideas. So yeah, you can see it kind of like gets a little lost there. So if I were to do this kind of spread again, and then I tried to cover up my extended lines because I suck at this. I sucked at this particular thing. Like whenever I'm doing copying a ruler, I always go over where I'm supposed to stop, and I don't know why I do that. It's my problem. So I try to cover it up, but it's there. But I like half of it at least. All right, continuing on with the next spread. We've got, this is going to be my book sales. So I like to track, where I'm selling, how I'm selling and stuff. So I have, such a big backlog of stuff you can read. So I have all the 12 short stories are out. I have my full series of Ashport Archives is out, and I have the first book of Hisfakak out. I also now, by the time this video is, hopefully, will have the anthology fully done. I have a proof copy coming tomorrow. It says it's coming tomorrow. I don't know if it actually is. But just a way to track them throughout the year. So I'm kind of going to do a check-in every single month on all my different platforms so that I'm accurate. And then I'll do a little month comparison, and we'll do an overall year review of how many, how much, where was I selling the most. Most of the time I sell the most at conventions, but we're doing a whole new circuit of stuff this year, so we'll see how that goes. But I'm better at being a personable salesperson than online. I hate online marketing. It's the worst. All right, now we're going to get into a bunch of PET stickers. I forget which spread this already is. Is this the brain dump? This might be a brain dump. I could literally just look at the journal. It's right here in front of me, and that would be better. Oh no, it's the You Made Me's. The You Made Me's. Okay. So, or not the You Made Me's, the You Need To's. Oh, I know why, because I messed up. I started this one before I did the other ones. That's actually weird that they're so... Oh, I know what happened. Okay, so here's a fun little fact. I apparently wasn't filming. My camera died, and we missed a few spreads. But I did do an overview spread, so you will see them later. Okay, cool. So we're in the You Made Me, or You Need to Read This. So I get recommendations for things all of the time. So people telling me you should read this book, you should watch this series, you should try this dish, you should, do this activity and stuff. And I wanted a place where I could easily go, okay, let me write it down and actually put it on my list instead of hearing it one time and forgetting you ever told me to do the thing. So if you have things that you're like, Q, you need to read this book, you need to watch this TV show, and you need to eat this food, or you need to try this activity, this is where I'm going to put those things. So please feel free to put those in the comments. So I made all the spreads. I try to keep them all kind of color coded in a way. Not coded, but like just each their own theme. There's no rhyme or reason to which colors happened. I saw that PT sticker and went, okay, that's the theme. You can tell I planned this so well, and this video is so well structured and definitely not chaotic at all. So yeah, the You Need to Eat This, I guess, was orange and yellow. That's what happened there. I don't know. I'm kind of losing steam on the voiceover for this part. La-di-da-di-da. It's like a live stream where I just start singing randomly. Anyway, the You Need to Do This apparently is going to be pink. And I think it's pink and purple, if memory serves. I don't remember. I could just open the journal right in front of me, but I'm correct anyway. There's all the purples. I wish I had more of these stickers. They're really nice, but you know how expensive PET stickers are? Like, this stuff was not cheap. Buying these packets, like, I had to buy a couple more because I was making a different journal that I'll probably try to show you guys at the end of this video. I'll try to do a flip through of all my major journals that I made. I just didn't film them all because, fun fact, all this footage was 10 hours long, and I sped it up to 1,000 times speed, FYI. So, yeah. Okay, now we're finally in the January spread. So this is me making the actual calendar part. Again, this was also really hard because there are no dots or anything in this journal. It is fully blank page. So I'm going off of my own measurements, and I'm really bad at measuring things equally. Also, fun fact, again, I'm just not an artist. I don't have that brain. But this is the main January calendar. I always want to use calendars, but I just don't. And I need to do better at it because I forget things. Like, Tycho and Jace, I'm so sorry I missed that one karaoke time because I completely forgot we were doing that. That happens to me, okay? Sometimes the brain shuts off any idea that I would be leaving my house for any reason. So I need to write them down and actively check the calendar. I even have a reminder in my Habitica to go over calendar every Sunday. Do I do it? No. And I should. So every Sunday, I'm now going to depend on all of you guys to spam message me into remembering to go over my calendar. That would be very beneficial. Thank you. I'm just going to put all of that on you. And I decided to go all the way up, apparently, on the stickers because maximalist. That's me. Okay, moving on. Now, this spread took me so very long. So this is my task of the day tracker. If you don't know task of the day, I have created a bunch of cards of things I could do each day, right? Actually, right now, my task of the day is to film or edit a video, so can check that off. But I choose 3 cards, or I pull 3 cards, and then from them I choose one. So I've written down 3 lines 31 times because this is January, so I'll do this for each month. And then I'm going to highlight which one I actually chose. And then at the end of the month, I will see where I was doing the most. So in task of the day as well, the more I get either one of each or fully filling up like 10 spaces of the same one, I then earn a little line of filler on one of my 4 big rewards. So I have these little like temperature tube looking tracker things on my wall that each have a little goal underneath them of something that would be a special treat for me. So like one of them is buying an item from holyclothing.com because they have amazing stuff that I always want to wear and are totally my aesthetic of like witchy, goddessy, ethereal fantasy person. And I always want to buy them, but they're very expensive because they're handmade and they contribute their stuff to the actual workers instead of like, fast fashion and stuff. So I like supporting them. And that's one of my goals for that. So every time I fill up a line vertically or horizontally on my tracker, I roll a die and see where it goes. So I've already filled in 4 spaces randomly on it. So yeah, that's task of the day. I like it. It's a good way to gamify my life and keep me going. So now we're on to musts and maybes. So these are the things that I'm like, I gotta do this month. If I don't do them, I will slap myself in the face or something. And then I have maybes of like, maybe we'll try to do this, but it's not essential. It'd be cool to finish it. So that's what that page is. Again, we're using more of that PET tape that I just kept tearing up. Yeah. That's fun. And then we decided to do the pink and the reds for this side because I think that was the last of that PET tape. I did run out of it. So as much as I like that PET tape, like a packet I bought, again, expensive. They're expensive and I don't like that. I don't like spending that money, but they look really pretty. So this is my January review. This is the last spread of the journal that I'll be making here. We're going to flip to another one, but it's just my like, what did I read? What did I do? What did I watch? And stuff like that. So here's our final flip through of everything. We got the tracker. Here's the year at a glance. I covered up all the sensitive information. Please don't stalk me. The 25 of 2025. The then and again, covered up sensitive information. You don't need to know my debts. 52 things to do this year. I've already filled in some. I have more blank spaces. And same with the 25/25s of 2025. And then the things you didn't get to see. The brain dump, the 17s tracker for the live streams. My monthly reset goals. I filled this in a bit more with a little flap of things to not forget. And then we get into book sales, so you didn't miss much, okay? You need to read this, you need to watch this, you need to eat this, you need to do this. The January calendar, and I can't turn a page, apparently. The task of the day, which I had to reprint because I realized I didn't print the title. The musts and maybes, and the January review. And that's the calendar as it goes. And now I need to make the February spread already. Wonderful. Now we're going to get into making my reading tracker. These are the 2 biggest trackers that I have. So that's why I kind of filmed doing all of them this way. If I finish other trackers before this video needs to go up. I will do a quick flip through of those as well. But I have so many trackers. I have become ambitious on the BUJO side of things, but I'm already overwhelmed, so who knows? So this is my reading tracker. Again, I can't write any other way if I'm trying to be big and blocky, so we use the same method of colors with shadows and coloring it in. But you'll see that the stickers in the theme, they're all bookish stickers, but they all have that white background, and I didn't want to take the time to cut off the white background. If I did, I would be much happier. But when I layer them as, like, the borders and stuff, I don't like how it looks. I don't think it looks good, and I wish it did. But it doesn't, precious. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm so sorry. But I did switch to this PET tape, which is probably my favorite. I bought, like, a 5-pack, but it's got these cute little lanterns, and I love it a lot. So we have our 25 of 2025. These are the books that y'all, got me to read. Or are getting me to read from the Actually list and from the competition games that Lena put in with me. I've used this specific outline of one, and then I have I measured and printed on Canva all of these. And again, the camera died there, so you'll see more of what happened. There's a lot that happened, but I did print them off and stick them on and tried to use the stamp. That was the worst decision of my life because I kept just messing that up. So I did Herkyed, so I've got a Herkyed tracker, and the bingo board from hell, from Literary Diversions, I believe is her name on YouTube. But she's adorable and I love her. And I wanted to do my own version of bingo board from hell for goals that I have throughout the year. So that's what we're going to do. And then I marked which ones are purple prompts, and then I filled in which ones I have already completed for Herkyed. I've actually completed quite a few, I think. I'm doing pretty good there. Also, I'm left-handed. I don't know if you guys knew that. I'm a lefty. Now there's video proof of me writing with my terrible handwriting on camera. And this is me thinking, I don't know what to do for the last square, because I was literally thinking of them while I was doing this. So there you go. And I tried to make it look like it was on fire, but again, I am not an artist. I don't know how to draw things, so it just looks really bad. Yeah. It looks kind of bad, but whatever. It's just for me. It's not like I am selling it. I don't know why we are singing this tune. Why Jungle Book? I don't understand. Okay, so now we have the R fantasy spreads. So Reddit/fantasy has a challenge that goes, it starts in April every year. So it's still ongoing. So right now we're setting up the easy mode or the regular mode and the hard mode, which again are bingo boards that I've already been doing. And I'm so close to completing them, guys. I need like 4 prompts and we'll do this. But I'm just not finding bards and orcs as protagonists. Help me out here. So there's 2 modes. There's a regular and there's a hard mode. I, of course, decided to do both because I'm a little bit unhinged with my reading. And I figure, I just stumble across prompts that people do for the most part. So that's what happens. So I didn't print off stickers for this one. I just wrote all the names in of the ones that I've done, but then I did color them in, and I need to learn this. Actually, no, I did it right this time. I colored in first before writing, and I always forget to do that because I always smudge stuff. So I only have 1 prompt left for regular, and then I actually have, I think, 3 left now because I just read Victory's Greater Than Death, which was a marginalized space opera, marginalized author who wrote a space opera. So I filled in 1 of those. So yes, 1 of those should be gone. So I had 5 at the beginning of the year, and now I have 4. And I just need to do them. It's so difficult. I don't know why. I mean, it's meant to be difficult. That's why there's a hard mode. But I think overall, I did pretty darn good for that one. And again, selecting stickers. And this is going to be the TBR. So if you guys watched my TBR game, we are playing NetGalley Bingo right now. And I have 29 books that I'm trying to read. and it's rough. So instead of the stamp, I was smarter and just drew in little hexagons, because none of my stencils had a star. So we're using hexagons to show off my rating for each book as I finish them. And I think that's a better system. I will never use that stamp again. I'm not to be trusted with stamps. I press too hard. I'm like a toddler, and I just slam it down on the page thinking that's the proper method. And it's not, but my brain doesn't connect to my arm when I'm doing things like that. And I just go, well, bam! And yeah, I guess you can also tell that I really don't like blank space. Again, I'm a maximalist. So these are some of the books that I printed out. I did this for the 25 of 2025 as well. Sorry that the camera died during that part. But, this is a long video anyway at this point for how long I've just been talking as a little voiceover narration. Super fun. So then I tried to alphabetize them, because why not? Just alphabetize everything. And then we'll stick them all down. But it's quite an ambitious TBR, I will say. It's quite a lot. I've finished, as of recording this video, 6 of them? 6 of the 29, I think? Yeah. A lot. And then, of course, the camera died again. My phone really, really struggling to keep up with filming this stuff. I'm not gonna lie. So, and then we have our January releases. So this is just a way for me to kind of track and see throughout the year, because I'll go back to this page a lot. All the January releases, I'll leave some room for more to be added, because I always discover more books later on. Sorry, it's late, so I'm pausing to yawn. I hope you enjoy knowing that. Okay. So I basically just made a bunch of lines that I can do, and then mark down if I got an arc of it and if I've read it. And then we'll have a little end of the year, like, this is how many I read, this is how many there were, and we'll just track them all that way. So I'll do this spread every single month, just because there's so many. And January always has so many releases. Book publishers, chill out in January, okay? We're already all overwhelmed from the holidays. Now is not the time to release books, in my opinion. Okay? But granted, March is the big season for it. I found that I always have the most releases coming out in March when I'm looking up books that I want to read. They're crazy. I think it's because they're preparing people for, like, the big summer for stuff. And they're like, well, we'll release them in March so people have time to grab them and then pick them for their summer vacations. So this is my January acquisitions page. This is anything that comes into me, whether or not I'm spending money on it. Hopefully I am not. I use Pango Bucks regularly. Go check out my code QWERTY5 for $5 off your first order on Pango. That can get you a whole book, FYI. Especially if you use my shop. So I have a January acquisition and the arcs that I received, not arcs that are released in January, just ones that I'm actually actively getting approved for. Yeah, that's what I've done. I've already received a few books and a few arcs, as we're obviously writing them in. And I'll just track and see if I've read it, That's a fun way to track my stuff. And this one's going to be a TBR ranking. There's not going to be a lot on this page yet because I cannot do it until I finish, because I don't know how many books I'm going to actually read in January, or the TBR, I guess, because I read other books aside from the TBR and I want to rank them all together. And I like Joshi Koron's new way of doing it. Instead of doing like a bracket, having each book basically face off against each other and then figuring out who won the most times to actually figure out my favorites. So that's why we have a non-TBR read tracker. And then we'll have the best and the worst, just overall, just a little smattering of which ones I liked the best, instead of just a number 1 and a number 0. I don't know what that. No, a last place and a first place. We'll have a few intermingled in there, like, hey, these are good, they just didn't win number 1. What spread are we working on? The challenges and the review. Okay, so we have our challenges progress for the end of the month. I guess that's right, I forgot to print another January review, but this is kind of my overview of all the things that we've made spreads for, and then the challenges, and then I'm adding stuff into all of the things. And then we're adding another spread because I forgot about certain challenges. I think this is going to be a year of Goober. I've also, since filming this, added 2 more year-long challenges. So we have a year of Goober. I'll be doing the Somber Honey year challenge, and also Adventures in Aldea from Book Roast. So I have, in fact, added more spreads to this. I'll see if I'll add more or not, because we are reaching the end of this video finally. So I hope you guys enjoyed hanging out with me while I make these sort of aesthetically pleasing planners throughout the night. I don't know. This took several days. Again, it took over 10 hours of footage, but again, I lost a bunch of the footage. So whoopsies. Okay, cool. We're about to lose everything here. I'll try to do some flip throughs after this. Hello, I'm back. That was so long of a wait, I know. Well, here are all my journals. I finished kind of setting them up. We're going to start by looking at the reading tracker. You guys saw me make this one, but here's the actual flip through. Here's the 25 of 2025. I haven't read a single one yet. Herkyed 1 and the big bookish bingo board from hell. I love the idea. Reddit / fantasy. I read one more since making it, actually. So, hey, go me. The first TBR of the year is underway. I've read 6 of the books so far as of making this video. All the January releases and arcs that I've gotten for them, I've read 2. January acquisitions, related to the new releases and as well the arcs that I receive. The TBR ranking obviously won't be done until I finish it. The non-TBR reads, the best and the worst, the January review, and the challenges progress, as well as a year of Goober, the Somber Honey challenge, which I added afterwards, as well as Adventures in Aldea. And I intend to do every single prompt instead of just one. So that is the reading journal. Next up, this is the more in-depth 25 of 2025. I use these steampunk floral. I did run out of them though. So here's Memory of the Hoop Boy audiobook. I just tried to make it look pretty, just a fun way to look at my goals. The paint by numbers. One of them's Bed Dud. Literally baking. We've got one ready to go. One's coming to you. Coming soon. Writing retreat, all the steps I need to do it. I'm actually really bad about planning like the step-by-step process of these. I just write them down just in hopes that I do something with them. So we've already kind of gone over what my goals are in other videos. So this is just kind of looking at them and how I worked with the PET stickers. I really like the stickers. I just wish I had more. I needed a lot more than I thought. So you'll see the transition of when I start to lose them. But I try to keep them all, in their theme. I think it looks pretty, and then it's going to turn into garbage. It's starting to turn. I started losing some, and I used some old stuff, some other PET stickers, and then I run out of those. So I end up, I think this might be one of the last ones. Ending up, oh no, I got it for this one, for the lose 25 pounds, got that one. And the Herkyed 2, got to have some. Oh, I started using these wooden ones, and they were so bulky, I had to stop, because I'm just like, this is terrible. So then I tried to color it in, and as you can see, it looks terrible. Then I just did a little highlight around them for the last ones, but it's still using, no more of the steampunks, we're out of them. Unfortunately, and those stickers just they're so thick. I didn't realize how thick they were when I ordered them, but that's the 25 of 2025. Moving on, we have got Starless and Sacred. This is my indie book journal, and I've only read one indie book so far, so there's only one entry, but I did it. So just a way to kind of track them, put the stickers out, give a little review, but that's easy. That's that one. A few of these we're not going to go through a lot because there's not much. This is my 5 stars. Immaculate. Excellence. I've read 2 so far. I just wanted to do a little whapow page instead of in-depth review because I do that with other stuff. So, and of course the writing journal is my whip journal. We have a Then and Again that I worked on just for all the projects. These are all my current writing projects. So Year in Craft and Chaos is actually sort of done. I just have to wait to order copies after I move. So, sorry, it's very late again, so I'm gonna yawn through this. Acing It, we have Sweet Pea and Sniffly, and then we've got Ogre and Bookworm, They're not in any order, by the way. And Perfectly Respectable Vagabonds, as well as a 30-day writing challenge when I decide to do it. And then a review. This is just an overview. Each month has a little slot. So that's the whips, and then the rest of the blank pages for random stuff. You know? Then we have the Gods of Our Own Universes is my arc tracker. So I'm going to be using it a lot this month. So this is basically every arc I've read in January. And some of them are part of the challenge. Some of them are not part of the challenge. I just happened to get them. Like Much Ado About Margaret was not on the challenge. But the rest were. So that's the arc tracker. And that's it. Ta-da! Okay, bye! Okay, bye!